Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cabral Concept. We have a fun show for you here today. Over the last couple years, mushroom extracts have becoming more and more popular. Now, we're not talking about the psychoactive effects from mushrooms, maybe like a psilocybin. Today, we're talking about it as a nutraceutical, as the benefits that you can get from using a fungi like a mushroom, and which ones are necessarily great for you, right? Meaning they give you direct benefits that have been clinically studied and we know work, right? No guesswork. We know these specific mushrooms help with this, this, and this. I'll be taking you through basically a top 10 or so here today, but also that you need to know what to look for in terms of mushroom coffees or mushroom nutritional supplement extracts, like any one of those things, tinctures, which are the liquids, or the capsules, or coffee, whatever you're looking for. You want to look for something very specific. So mushrooms have different parts to them, but basically they have the roots, they have the stem, and then they have the top, which is essentially called the fruiting body. And one part of that gives you 10 to 50x the results. And they don't always share that with you on nutritional supplement labels. So I'm going to share all that with you here today, but I'm essentially going to take you through my top 8 to 10 favorite mushroom extracts, the ones that are most popular, the ones that people are talking about, and maybe they fit the right bill for you. So the first one of the ones that I started with when I started to use mushroom extracts was reishi mushrooms. So if you've never heard about reishi before, it's R-E-I-S-H-I. But the reason why I use this is that it was the easiest on the gut, but it helped the most with viral-based issues as well as allergies. And I used to have horrible environmental allergies. So what reishi does is it helps to balance what are called Th1 and Th2 immune imbalances. Basically, I don't want to get too deep into it. I talk about the rain barrel effect, but Th2, think about this. If you're Th2 dominant, you're sensitive to everything, foods and the environment, it smells, and like you're kind of chronically inflamed. There's usually gut issues, and you're more Th2 dominant. Environmental allergies, that's a big one, right? And then there's Th1. Th1 is, I never really get sick, but I have an autoimmune issue, right? Like, so that's the full sides of the spectrum. And obviously we hope people are more balanced, but what reishi does is it helps to balance those. Now, again, I can't provide you with any medical advice, medical treatment plans, medical cures, or medical diagnosis. And I'm not saying take reishi and everything is going to be phenomenal from here on out. You still want to look for the underlying root cause, like I was doing, right? With my histamine issues, I talked about that earlier this week. And then the root causes of histamine issues, because histamines are not a root cause. The root causes of my histamine issues were my gut dysfunction, not producing enough diamine oxidase, the food allergies, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so reishi mushroom, one of my favorites. Absolutely fantastic for immunity. But if you're looking for something that takes the immune system to that next level, without a doubt, it's turkey tail. So turkey tail increases natural killer cells. It's been studied right now for natural cancer-based therapies. It's pretty powerful. It can also act as a prebiotic in the gut, enhancing overall microbiome diversity. So it might not be the first one you start with, or it might be part of a formula, but it can be a very powerful nutritional supplement as an extract called turkey tail, and specifically used as a stronger immune enhancement. Oftentimes, again, not providing any medical advice with cancer-based therapies. All right. Shiitake and maitake, I often lump together. They're both great for enhancing the immune system. Both of them, shiitake and maitake, phenomenal, like without a doubt. Where they differ a little bit is that shiitake is often used with metabolic issues, such as elevated levels of cholesterol. And it can be used as a powerful natural anti-inflammatory, sometimes even with inflammatory skin conditions. Where maitake shines is that it helps more with blood sugar over cholesterol, right? Cholesterol more for shiitake, maitake more for blood glucose issues, but again, can also help with blood pressure, cardiovascular, etc. Both fantastic. All mushrooms essentially work on modulating inflammation, but sometimes in different parts of the body. The next one is chaga. So chaga, like turkey tail, used to increase overall natural killer cells in the body, sometimes also used in natural cancer-based therapies, but also a very powerful antioxidant. So this is why you see chaga often used in sports-based formulas, because it enhances oxygen utilization and modulates inflammation. And it's almost always paired with its cousin, cordyceps. And cordyceps improves oxygen utilization, which improves endurance, energy production, athletic performance, and so much more. So not necessarily the natural killer effects of chaga, but cordyceps enhances that energy ATP production to that next level. And of course, all of these are helping with the immune system. Cordyceps is just more unique with energy, right? So it's a great one along with chaga for energy. All right. The next one, everybody always associates this one with brain health, and they're right. It's called lion's mane. Lion's mane, and I'm going to do a whole podcast, not on lion's mane, but I'm going to do a whole podcast on the production of nerve growth factor and how that can promote better and improved cognitive ability. So memory, recall, name recollection, all of those things. And lion's mane has been studied for this. There are, and I can't go too deep into it right now because there's legality-based issues around it, but there are some people using psilocybin along with lion's mane. So during the psilocybin sessions, they're using lion's mane to help to rewire the brain, to potentially help with anxiety and depression and maybe even addiction. It can help with neuroplasticity, as I said, with the rewiring of the brain's chemistry. So pretty important, pretty powerful. That's lion's mane. The last one that I want to share with you, it's a little known one. I've talked about it before, but it's a little known one called agaricus. So agaricus, although as most mushroom extracts, fantastic for the immune system, it works specifically on metabolic health, namely cardiovascular. Now, can it help with some blood sugar regulation? Yes. Again, not providing medical advice, medical treatments, medical cures, or medical diagnosis. But what it can do overall for metabolic health in terms of, again, not specifically treating, but diabetes, heart-based issues, potentially blood pressure, vascular issues is pretty impressive. So it works as an antioxidant. It works to modulate inflammation, and this is part of how it works overall. But what you can do with mushroom extracts in general is you can use them individually at higher doses based on what you need it for. And nothing wrong with that at all. Or you can take them all together as one formula, and that's pretty popular as well. Because what most good nutritional supplements do, think of it as like your B complex. Okay, great to take folate, methylfolate, great to take B12, but way better to get your thiamine as B1, your riboflavin as B2, your niacin as B3. I mean, I can go down the list, right? Better to get the whole family of B vitamins rather than take them individually. And that is because they work as a synergy. They modulate all different parts of the immune system and inflammation. So we use it in a product called Daily Mushroom Immune Support. And as I said, you can use that every single day for healthy immune balance. You can use double that dosage for stronger immune needs. Or you can find your favorite brand of just a stronger one. Maybe you're using something like the Equalife Daily Mushroom Immune Support, but maybe you want to use a higher dosage of cordyceps, or maybe you want to use a higher dosage of lion's mane, or maybe you want to use a higher dosage of turkey tail. I could see reasons for all of those. Maybe, again, you've seen the research on HPV and maybe even CMV and the use of reishi extracts, right? And so like all of these things can be used at larger dosages as long as you've read the research, you know what you're doing specifically. And so I think it's important to say that there's not necessarily one right way to use this, but especially during cold and flu season, if you're trying to boost your immune system, really nice to look at. The other part I'll say is that, again, without providing any medical advice, a lot of people with viral-based issues do really well with mushroom immune formulas, where you get that synergy, where it includes the reishi the shiitake, maitake, those are important to have in there. And then things like turkey tail, cordyceps, chaga, etc. All right. So that is that on that. I can't link up any nutritional supplements that we use, not when you talk about health-based issues on a podcast. You can find out what we use in our practice at stephencabral.com/shop. It just takes you over to every single product we use in our global functional medicine practice, integrative health practice, working with hundreds of thousands of people literally every single year. So here's what I wanted to share with you. This is really important. Whatever single, like let's just say you just want a cordyceps product or a lion's mane product, no matter what you're looking for, this is really important that you look for what are called fruiting bodies. And I've told you this before, but the supplement industry is a very dangerous place. It's not dangerous. No, it's not going to hurt you. I'm not going to say that. Most won't. So I don't want to cause fear in that way. But a lot of people are in this for the wrong reasons. They're not running a practice. They're not trying to help people specifically. Once they make the sale, they're like, oh, good, that's it. Like it's just, no, shouldn't be that way. So oftentimes, a lot of mushroom-based products are just filled with fillers. They use a lot of, truthfully, they use a lot of the roots and a lot of the stems. It's much cheaper to do it that way, but you lose 10 to 50 times the amount of beta-glucans and other products in the mushroom itself, in the fruiting body. The fruiting body is the head of the mushroom, right? So if you think of it this way, you see your typical normal like toadstool type mushroom, right? The top of it, the cap, right? The cap, that's what you want. That's the fruiting body. Below that is the stem. Don't really want that. The roots, don't really want that. It's not that there's not benefits to them. It's just 10 to 50 times less. That's an enormous amount. Think of 10x the amount of benefits just from getting the fruiting bodies. And the beta-glucans, if you're not familiar with the beta-glucans, which is really important, why don't I go through a couple of these? Beta-glucans are the main polysaccharides, the main nutrients that are responsible for the immune boosting benefits. So if you're not getting the fruiting body, you're not getting as many of the beta-glucans, so you're not getting then the immune boosting benefits. Then there's something called triterpenes or triterpenes. I have no idea if that pronunciation is correct, but these have a lot to do with the liver health, the anti-inflammatory benefits, the adaptogenic benefits. Like when I talked about modulating inflammation, modulating overall immune system, modulating T1, T2, right? That's the triterpenes. All right. And the last part is the antioxidants. The antioxidants are so much greater in the fruiting body, just like it is with blueberries. You can get blueberries, right, with all the skin, or you can get parts of the twigs and vine and leaves and things like that. And you don't really necessarily want that, which are what all the fillers are. So when you read the back of a label, you want it to say not the mycelium, right, all of the stem and root, but actually the fruiting body. If it says that, you know you're in good hands. You know you're getting a good, hopefully it's a GMP product, good manufacturing product. So what's in there is actually in the product, like what it states is actually in there. They go through the GMP process. And you're going to then get all of those benefits. So that's the remarkable thing, is that all of these products, like everything I shared with you here today, is clinically documented. You can research all of these things for yourself on PubMed. So much research go behind this. But remember, the research is all predominantly done on a lot of the beta-glucans from the fruiting body. So that's, if you want the clinical benefits, you really want to go with that fruiting body. And if it doesn't say it, well, it may not have it then, or just email the company. Say like, hey, do all of your mushrooms in your mushroom formula come from the fruiting body? It doesn't say it on the back of your label. And they might say, yes, it does. And here's where it shows on the COA and the certificate of analysis or whatever it might be. So hopefully that's helpful. And the other thing, I wasn't even going to say that, but really good to have a certificate of analysis from a third party that shows that there are no heavy metals or any bacteria, anything like that with the mushroom extract. Because remember, mushrooms basically are chelators. They're going to bring in metals potentially. So not to worry. Again, you can just look for the certificate of analysis, which is on many people's websites, or reach out to the company. Hey, do you have a certificate of analysis? Did this pass the lead and all the different metals? So hopefully this was helpful. This is a product that we have gotten much more into using, recommending in our practice, especially for viral-based issues, for those that need it during cold and flu, for anybody trying to balance and modulate their immune system and inflammation. All right. right, all the details will be at stephencabral.com/3240. And for the product that we use, you can always just head on over to stephencabral.com/shop. That takes you over to EcoLife, and you can find the daily mushroom immune support that has all clinically validated forms of these specific mushrooms, and of course, guaranteed to work for you. Thanks, everybody. Have an amazing day. I will be back tomorrow with a brand new Cabral Concept. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.